The drama of the German stage of SailGP's 2025 season had left the organisers with a boat that wasn't just broken, but from the look of it, destroyed. The next event was just 4 weeks away. According to the map, the SailGP Technology Centre in Southampton was en route, but a British pit stop was not part of the original schedule. Plus, the American boat was short of a bow, and questions were still being asked about the French rudder failure. Once again, SailGP had its back against the wall.
Well, it was an incredible effort by the team at SailGP Technologies to get both boats back on the water. I think there were more than 40 people involved and 4,000 personnel hours to get these boats to this point. So just an amazing effort. And if I look back even 6 months ago, probably wouldn't have been possible to do this. So yeah, it's a great achievement.
It seemed almost impossible to have the boat in the water, and then Russell was always very looking forward for it. He said, "I think it can be done."
Down 2, down 5, down 5, down 5, down 10. Oh.
Apologies to the Brits again, but it's racing, and we've seen bad crashes in SailGP before, and it's hopefully the last, but I doubt that.
So when the Brazilians came firing off the line in the opening race in St Tropez to lead at the first mark, it was a pinch-yourself moment. Another surprise, given the Mediterranean's reputation for light and fluky conditions, the breeze was up and the fleet was on its smallest wings. But a couple of legs into the race and the Australians were leading, with the British in second, which is how race 1 finished, with the Spanish in third and the Brazilians ending up 7th. In race 2, the Canadians led the charge. The Kiwis put a lot of pressure on Giles Scott's team, breathing down their necks throughout the whole race before managing to take the lead on the final mark rounding. Once again, the Spanish were in third and the British came in fourth. Pumped up and ready for some more, the Kiwis delivered an impressive start as they led off the line, pushed hard by the Spanish. The fleet was depleted though. The Brazilians had hydraulic issues, while the Americans and Canadians had to bail out at the start. Meanwhile, it was Italy that fought off several other teams to take the win in this race, with the Spanish in second and the Kiwis in third. It's not unusual in SailGP to find Formula One drivers hanging around on the dock. Presumably they feel comfortable in sailing's equivalent to the pit lane. But step off the dock and onto an F50 and they quickly exit their comfort zone.
Was that all good?
Those that can deal with the intimidating safety training get a chance to get out on the water to experience proper 3D racing, with added salt in the spray. But few are lucky enough to do it when conditions are close to the limit.
It's really puffy on this side of the course.
F1 driver Valtteri Bottas got to experience the full works.
And not far, stand by. And rake. Make a look for boats as well then. Yeah, got it. And turning.
Intense. Yeah, definitely have even more respect for these guys now and for the whole team. Everything just happened so quick. Of course, with practice they probably get used to it, but for me I was like pretty shocked how quickly everything happened. Being really good in the teamwork, it seems to be the key in this one. So everyone was to work really synchronized. Yeah.
Back on the racecourse, what crews didn't know was that the final race of the first day was to prove to be a big one. The start was a shocker for several teams as they were too close to the line and had to abort. The Australians powered on regardless, but paid the price for jumping the gun. So from here, the German team led the charge until the British forced their way through. But behind them, the Brazilians, who were back up and running, muscled their way into third.
It felt like you'd make a call and then immediately it'd be the wrong call because the wind was changing so quickly. We had a 60-degree shift range, probably 8, maybe 10 knot, I don't know, wind speed range. So yeah, really, really tricky for everyone just to get the boat around the race course.
Yeah, really up and down. After the first race, I thought we were on for a good day, but we had some problems and it didn't sail too well to the best of our abilities. It was tough. The wind was super up and down. We'd have 25 knot gusts and then you'd have 5 knots. So it was just really challenging.
St Tropez had been a challenge from the start. Not only was there the stress of getting 2 boats back on the water, but just as they ticked this box, high winds forced the cancellation of the practice day. Given that teams had no time to train, perhaps it was no surprise that the results in boisterous conditions were erratic. But another stumbling block was to come, thanks to the weather once again. With lightning forecast for the second day, racing was cancelled, leaving just one day's results to count. And here, in keeping with an event that was throwing up surprises, it was the British that came out on top by just 1 point. With no winner-take-all final, this event looked much more like a normal regatta, where consistency wins the day. Dylan Fletcher's team may have had to count a 6th, but they also had a 1st, a 2nd and a 4th on their scoreline. Enough to beat the Kiwis by 1 point and the Spanish by 6.
Amazing to win. Great day yesterday. Obviously gutted for the fans and everyone that we can't race today, but what a day yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely stoked, yeah. Great day racing and 80-metre wings, and we're just looking forward to Geneva. Disappointing not to be out there, but Geneva's going to be fantastic.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think to be in the mix with the top 3, there's 4 of us super tight on points, and I think the last three events, anything's going to happen, and to be in the mix, I think, is all we kind of hope for at the start of the season. So yeah, we're excited for the rest of it.
Oh, they've done brilliantly. I mean, it's been an up and down season, as it has been for all of the teams. But the last couple of events, Germany with the setback, with the crash, coming back from that, and then sailing, just brilliantly yesterday in pretty tricky conditions. We can really see the team are gelling well, and this is a critical moment in the season with this triple header now, and then looking to the final in Abu Dhabi in November. So all to play for. I can tell you, it's way more stressful watching. I mean, it's just biting the fingernail moments. Some of these, the racing's just getting so close, and I think what's fantastic is the quality of the racing, and we can see that. I mean, okay, we're having a few crashes now and then, which is not ideal, but it's action-packed.
In fact, the complete scoreboard told the story of an erratic, nerve-jangling event. But perhaps it also says something about an underlying change in SailGP, where you can take nothing for granted. I know that's an age-old cliche, but it seems that with every event this season there are some surprise results. 12 months ago, would you really expect to hear that the Australians finished up in 5th and the French in 6th, or that Giles Scott's Canadian team had crashed out into 10th? In the past, these results would have been one-offs, but this season there are shockers aplenty at each event. And that in itself says a great deal about how competitive this circuit is, while also demonstrating how much effort is required to keep this show on the road. Next stop is Geneva, a first for SailGP, and a venue where the breeze could be anything from flat calm to full bore, on the same leg.